Hello, Tour Striker Nation. Martin Chuck here, and I'm in the studio at the Raven Golf Club Phoenix. And this is another little bit about the Sammy. So, special shout out to my daughter Samantha. We call her Sammy. She's the one who invented this. This is how this story comes about on how Sammy came up with this idea. You see, she had a badge reel with just a chapstick on the end. That was a part of her outfit that she got at a store when she was about 7. So this badge reel clipped on her belt, had a chapstick, and she'd apply it and she'd let it go, and she thought she was all pretty cool. Well, the funny thing was, she said to me, "Hey Daddy, you can make a golf gizmo out of this." And then she ran off to go do something, didn't give it another thought. But what that made me realize was my mentor, George Knudson, and there's a picture of him on the wall here in the studio, used to say to us that he wanted this dimension at address, especially in short shots, to kind of stay with the same dimension as we hit these little shots through a golf ball hitting pitch shots. So it kind of made me go, And the thing that I want to share with you today is, if you're one of the, I'd say, 20% of the golfers out there, most of you, are fighting a slice. This is for the other, just as frustrated, albeit smaller group, fighting a hook. Because what happens with those players, typically a little bit lower handicappers, fighting a hook, on the way down, this golf club, the handle gets pointing too much to the right of your target line. Now, forgive me lefties, but just bear with me. You guys are great at flipping this around. The handle gets pointing too much to the right. We usually get a little bit too much of this we call axis tilt, where the hips push too far forward and we take on too much bend, in this configuration, away from the target. So as we're hitting shots, and this is me, when I get going bad, I get to hooking it. Well, with the Sammy, guess what you get to feel right here? You get this little bit of tension and that reminder to take this golf club, let the handle work down and inward so the club head goes outward. And when that happens, it's very uncommon that you're going to drop the club too much inside, kind of get stuck, as you've heard, and have a path that shoots too much out inside out. So the simple drill with this, during your backswing, go ahead and stretch the Sammy out to, you're going to pull it way out of the badge reel. And I know it's hard to see, but there's that string going way out of the badge reel. Now my thought is to take the butt of the club right there and deliver it into the badge reel. What that does is it gets my club tipped a little bit out on the way down. And for you better players, you don't have to worry about coming over the top, because you've got so much ground force working from the ground up that this club wants to get behind you really bad anyway. So the feeling for you is, go ahead and feel as though that handle, you can pull the string out. And let that butt of the golf club, let that Sammy come right back into this location. That's going to throw the club out nicely, but it's going to diminish that inside-out excessive path that we can track, well, with my TrackMan that's in the studio. So with your Sammy, stretch it on the way back, feel that Sammy come back into that same relationship that George Knudson used to teach us juniors at the National back in the day, and then on up into a finish. Rather than too much handle out, dropping the club inside, and then you're going to, flip it to catch up or block it way right. So Martin Chuck, signing off. I hope that tip helps you.